Good afternoon, sir. This is my work in your CO3 assessment. Task 1. Preparation of cargo spaces. A. How to carry out inspection. First, check the condition of the vessel to be safe to travel the bag of rice at sea. Then second, check the dunnage to ensure that proper dunnage is applied for the protection of bag rice in a clean, dry water and condition-free environment during transport. Next is check the stowage of bag rice to properly stowed bag rice to prevent cargo shifting and condensation damage during transport. Next is check the ventilation of bag rice to properly ventilate the cargo holds to reduce the likelihood of condensation damage to bag rice cargoes. Next is precautions during loading, transit, and discharge to ensure that proper precaution, protective actions, and monitoring cargo of operation are taken in loading of bag rice into the vessel, the carriage of cargo, and the discharging of bag rice from the vessel. Next is cargo surveying to utilize qualified third-party surveyors to properly, invent, efficiently, efficiently, effectively represent the interests of the ship owner in the performance of survey duties related to the loading, stowing, and discharging of bag rice. Next is charter party and bill of leading consideration to ensure that the relevant transport documentation is prepared in a manner that either averts or minimizes the ship owner's potential exposures and risks associated with the carriage of bag rice. And last is communicate with your P&I to ensure prompt and timely communication between the ship owners or member and its P&I club to prevent or minimize the risk of potential cargo claims associated with bag rice cargoes. B. Identify critical parts in cargo hold where potential defects as their performance will be critical to be safe carriage of the bag rice cargo. First is heat generated from spaces adjacent to cargo holds such as engine room may damage bag rice. Next is avoid the bag rice near the ship side to avoid point or rust that may damage the rice. Next is avoid the bag rice the engine room. Next is hatch cover should be fully weather tight. Next, cargo hooks should be used for bag rice cargo. Get a bamboo sticks or mats or craft, craft paper to protect the rice in the surface of the ship. Next is hatchway should be lined with styrofoam. And last is go on the top of the cargo craft paper can be placed on top of the cargo once loading has been completed. Next is task 1, number 2, ventilation requirement. Hatch cover packing should be in a good condition. Hatch cover compression bar should be clear or corrosion and free of damage or deformation. Next is hatch cover packing channels are to be clear or corrosion and free of damage or deformation. Alignment of hatch covers should be correctly aligned. Coming hatch covers dips, clamps, and quick acting clips or should be all present to be clear of corrosion, properly adjusted with good washers and free of damage or deformation. Next is hatch cover loading pads should be minimal wear to avoid overcompression of the packings. Hatch cover hydraulics to be clear of corrosion of free damage or deformation. Next is hatch cover combing to be clear corrosion and free of damage or deformation. Drainage channels are to be clear of corrosion and free of damage or deformation. Next is vents are to be clear of corrosion and free of damage or deformation. Next is mechanical ventilators. Flaps should be expected to ensure that they in good working condition and properly seal when closed. And last is sounding pipes and other hold pipes should be examined and clear of any debris. Last test 2. Task task 2. Aside from this is the question. Aside from cargo hold preparation and proper ventilation to prevent from cargo damage, outline the corrective actions to mitigate above damage during loading or discharging operation. So first is use of ram neck tape should be avoided. Cleaning of vessel cargo holds. Using bamboo materials to protect the rice cargoes from damaging. Using timber dunnage should be placed in 2 layers on the tank top of each hold to avoid wet damage to cargo. Using styrofoam, plastic or polyethylene sheets and craft paper for protection of bag rice using the 3 types of materials. Next is use of bag sawdust to reduce the accumulation of condensation in the cargo hold that may damage cargo. Next is screw rule in ensuring proper stowage. Next, surveying rule in ensuring proper stowage. And last is interlocking of cargo bags across the ventilation channels. That's all, sir. Thank you.